If you're looking for new games to add to your Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo Switch collections, there are 5 sales happening right now on the Nintendo eShop, and I have scrubbed through all of them to list the games that are worth picking up for you. And I will be going through each of these sales in order as to when they end. So first will be the earliest to end. We're going to go through all of them. Let me know in the comments below if there's some other games on sale that I didn't include in the list that I have here that you are interested in. But let's get into all 57 of these games. So first and foremost, we've got Bethesda has a sale right now running until August 12th. This includes a lot of really cool titles, starting with Skyrim Anniversary Edition. Obviously, Skyrim is great. There's no reason you shouldn't play Skyrim on your Switch. It runs well. 60% off, $27.99. This one is definitely worth picking up. This is the upgraded edition. There is the base version. I believe that one is on sale for $20 if you just wanted base Skyrim without anything else. But this one, the anniversary edition, includes everything, so definitely worth checking out. Doom Eternal is on sale right now, 75% off for $10. Now, I will say I just recently picked up Doom Eternal on sale on my Switch, and it is super good. It's a really nice port. It runs about 30 frames per second on the Switch 2. There was no sort of update that it got or upgrade that it got on the Switch 2, but still a fantastic port nonetheless. Same can be said for Wolfenstein 2 New Colossus, 85% off at $6. This game is running really well on the Switch. It was a great port on Switch 1. It continues running super well on the Switch 2. Really solid game. Pretty much all the Doom games are on sale that are on the Nintendo Switch. We got Doom coming in at 80% off at $4. And I also picked up the Doom 2016 port on the Nintendo Switch. Again, running fantastically, very good port on the Nintendo Switch. But then we also have the classic Doom games. So Doom 1 and 2 are coming in at 60% off at $4. Doom 3 is also coming in at 60% off at $4. Doom 64 is 60% off, but it's at $2. And then the final game from the Bethesda sale that I think is worth your time is Wolfenstein Youngblood, coming in at 75% off at $5. Lots of really good sales there. Lots of good stuff from Bethesda. But moving on, we have a sale from Nintendo themselves. And this is titled the Multiplayer Sale. Basically, it's any game that can have some sort of co-op compatibility. Some ability to play with your friends is kind of what they're featuring in this particular sale. Now, the multiplayer game sale for Nintendo ends on August 17th. So definitely keep that in mind for these particular games we're about to go over. So let's start with the Nintendo first party titles because there are a handful of them here in the multiplayer sale, starting with Mario Golf Super Rush. Now, this game kind of got some heat when it came out, but I'm going to sit here and say that I like Mario Golf Super Rush. It's not the best Mario Golf. It's not even the best Mario sports game, but I still had a good time with it. I played a lot of it with my friends, just, you know, playing in the living room. When eventually the Wii that we had, the person that owned it moved out, we just swapped over to play Mario Golf instead of Wii Golf. So, like, I had a lot of fun times playing Mario Golf over the years. It's just a really solid entry. This one's coming in at 33% off at $40. So typical Nintendo sale there, about $20 off. Moving on, we have Kirby Star Allies, another solid Kirby game to pick up on your Nintendo Switch, coming in at 30% off at $41.99. Now, I will say with Kirby Star Allies, despite it being another solid entry, there is the updated version for the Nintendo Switch 2 for Kirby and the Forgotten Lands later this month, so might be something you want to save your money on if you're looking for a Kirby experience and save it for the new DLC for Kirby and the Forgotten Lands. That might be worth your while, but this one is on sale if you are interested in it. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity is next, 30% off at $41.99, and I like this game. This is such a good game. It's running much better on the Nintendo Switch too. Definitely worth noting there. And if you did not play this game already, there is the new Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment that's coming out later this year for the Nintendo Switch 2. So it might be worth hopping in and picking up this particular game if you have not played it already. Really solid entry. I really like this particular game. I like the Warriors games in general. They're just a good time. And it is running so much better on the Nintendo Switch 2. So something to note in that regard. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker is next. And I love Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. It's just a fun little puzzle game. It's not particularly difficult, but it's such a good time. Definitely worth the money. 20% off at $32 on the eShop right now. Just really fun. I really enjoyed my time with Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. I think it's one of the better Switch 1 games that came out. I think I might have even put it, I don't remember where I put it on my list when I ranked all the Switch 1 exclusives, but man, I think I ranked it pretty high on that list. I really enjoy this game. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. This is a fantastic strategy shooter game that puts the Mario characters with the Rabbid characters, and this weird crossover that I never thought would happen, but it's so good. 75% off, $10. This is a steal of a deal. I would really recommend you guys pick this particular game up for that price. It's just really, really good. It's definitely better than the sequel in my opinion, but very just good game in general. Definitely worth picking up. WarioWare, get it together. I personally, I always think WarioWare games are a bit overpriced. This one's coming in at 20% at $40. Not something I'm particularly interested in, but people like WarioWare, so I figured I'd include it here in the list. And the next game is of a similar vein, being that it's ARMS. Now, I think ARMS is kind of cool. I never played it personally. I played it at like some demo stands, never ended up picking it up for myself, but I think it's cool. And if you're looking to get your hands on like a fun game to just play with some friends, ARMS is solid. 30% off, $41.99 for ARMS. Still worth picking up if it's a game that interests you. Like I said, there's fun to be had with it, but it's not a game I picked up personally. Moving on to the third-party games that are a part of this multiplayer sale from Nintendo, we've got Cuphead coming in at 28% off at $19.43. Cuphead is fantastic. If you like difficult classic style, I mean, this game looks like it was ripped from a Saturday morning cartoon. It's just so great. The art style is great. It's got an insane difficulty level. It's a very challenging game. If you're into that style of game, Cuphead's great for you, so you should definitely pick it up at that price. I believe this one actually includes the DLC as well, so definitely worth picking it up at that price. Diablo 3 Eternal Collection. This one, yes, Diablo 4 is out, and yes, Diablo 4 is probably coming to the Nintendo Switch 2 down the line at some point. But if you're looking for that dungeon crawling experience right now on the Nintendo Switch, Diablo 3 is running fantastically on the Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo Switch 2. I tested it out and it runs great. I absolutely love Diablo 3. I put so many hours into it on the Nintendo Switch, put so many hours into it on other platforms. It's just a great game and still continues to be a great game, and at $20, definitely worth it. Dragonball Fighterz Fighters Edition. This one has a massive sale going on. It is 84% off and it is $14.39. And this is a more arcadey style, more like Street Fighter style Dragon Ball game, which is kind of cool. I've played this game personally back on PS4, had a good time with it. If you're into that style of game, this is definitely one you should get your eye on because it includes all the DLC and all that fun stuff. It's usually like $80 or something like that, so this is a wicked sale. You guys should definitely pick this one up if you're interested. Cult of the Lamb. This is one of my favorite indie games of all time. I absolutely love Cult of the Lamb. It is a fantastic game. My wife is currently addicted to it. She's playing it on her Switch 2 like every freaking day. She loves Cult of the Lamb. It's just so good. You just raise, it's like Animal Crossing, but you're raising a cult instead of a happy village, right? It sounds goofy, but man, is it fun. It is such a good freaking time. I love this game. 50% off for the Unholy Edition, coming in at $22.49. Next up, Tony Hawk 1+2 Remasters. Now, the new one came out, but if you're not looking to spend that kind of money on the Tony Hawk games, you can get the original remaster at 60% off, coming in at $20. And that is a pretty good deal for this particular game, I have to say. You get 2 games for 20 bucks, and you can just enjoy that arcadey Tony Hawk style skateboarding game. I remember playing this game as a kid, renting it from Family Video. Man, such a good game. So definitely worth getting your hands on if you're into the Tony Hawk style games. Next up is Crash Team Racing. If you're looking for a kart racer that isn't Mario Kart, this is a really, really solid option. Really highly regarded. Everybody loves this particular game. Coming in at 65% off, $20.99 for this particular game. Really solid one if, again, you're looking for that kart racing experience. TMNT Shredder's Revenge. If you want a callback to classic Ninja Turtles games from the arcade, this hits that perfectly. This one is coming in, this is the deluxe edition with the DLC, coming in at 35% off at $21.44. This is a fantastic callback to those classic Ninja Turtle games, so if you're into that, definitely worth checking out. Now, TMNT Splintered Fate plus DLC is also on sale. Now, I have not played this particular game, but from what I've seen of this game, I actually think it looks pretty cool. It's a roguelike Ninja Turtles game that really reminds me a lot of Hades in the style that they went for, and it looks really good. And at this price, 50% off, $16.64, I think it's one I might end up picking up on this sale. I actually think this game looks fantastic. Game Builder Garage is on sale right now, and this is a really interesting one, mainly because of the fact that there's just so much cool stuff you can do in this game. There's so many cool levels you can play that other people have made. It's just a really cool game if you're looking to get into some sort of game creation stuff. Very cool. It also got a Switch 2 update where you can use mouse mode for this particular game, so that's also a huge bonus. This game is coming in at 20% off at $23.99. $59.99. Then you have Spelunky 1 and Spelunky 2. Both of these games are 60% off, but Spelunky 1's coming in at $3.99 and Spelunky 2 is coming in at $7.99. Fantastic games. Definitely loved by a lot of people, and on sale like this is definitely something you need to keep your eye on. Sunderfolk, man, I constantly think about picking this game up. I really do. I'm waiting for that banger sale that really drops the price on this particular game because I want to try it. I just don't know that I have enough people around consistently enough to play it enough to warrant the price it's at currently, but it looks so freaking cool. This is like a tabletop game that is put into a video game. You control the entire game through your phone and you play it like a Dungeons and Dragons kind of experience with these characters in the game. There's like a town building aspect. It looks super rad. Coming in at 20% off at $39.99. Definitely a game that I want to pick up. I'm just waiting for that like banger Black Friday sale that like pushes me over the edge to pick this one up. Freedom Wars Remastered is available on sale right now. This is a game I played way back on the PS Vita, and it's a good time. It's like a Monster Hunter style game with more sci-fi elements to it. And it was a lot of fun back on the Vita, coming in at 30% off at $34.99. Definitely want to keep your eye out on if you're into those hunting style games. If you like Portal, now's the time to get it because Portal Companion Collection is available on sale right now, containing Portal and Portal 2, 75% off at $5 on the Nintendo Switch. And this game did have issues on the Nintendo Switch 2 initially. However, it has since been updated and there is no more crashing on Portal 2. So just something to note if you were a little concerned about picking this game up and you had a Nintendo Switch 2, definitely worth picking up now. The issues have been resolved, and at $5, fantastic price point for this. Disney Dreamlight Valley Enchanted Edition. This is a cozy game set in the Disney universe where you're building up this village with Disney characters. Now, I have talked about this game in the past on the Nintendo Switch 2 and said that there were no graphical improvements necessarily for this game. It was still a little stuttery, still had some frame issues. However, the devs had come out and said that they are working on a Nintendo Switch 2 version. A lot of companies didn't get dev kits right away, so they're currently working on the Switch 2 version, so definitely worth grabbing this game on sale. 30% off, $55.99 for the Enchanted Edition. Definitely a solid, cozy game on the Nintendo Switch 2 if you are interested in that particular series. Spiritfarer. I've heard fantastic things about this particular game. I have not personally picked it up, but it looks like a game that would be right up my alley. I'm really on a cozy game kick right now, and this looks like a solid cozy game. Fantastic art style, fantastic animal-like characters. Really cool looking game, coming in at 85% off at $4.49. Definitely a game that if you're into the cozy genre and are looking for a game with a ton of hours to sink into, this is one you need to definitely keep your eye on. And then we have Yu-Gi-Oh! Early Days Collection. This is 20% off at $39.99, a collection of classic Yu-Gi-Oh! Games. I, as a kid, loved Yu-Gi-Oh! And the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime, so this is definitely one that kind of just hits a right chord for me. I definitely would be interested in picking this particular game up. Moving on, we have Devolver Digital, who also has a sale going on, and this is ending on August 18th. Now, I only picked a couple games out of the sales because I've only played a couple of these particular games, but these are the games that I highly recommend from Devolver Digital. One of the games is actually, we already talked about it. It was part of the multiplayer sale, and that was Call to the Lamb. The other two games are, one, Broforce. Broforce is freaking awesome. This is a arcadey shoot 'em up style game that really is just so cool because they took characters from a bunch of different IPs, whether it be Rambo, whether it be Mr. T. Like, there's just tons of characters in this game, and you're just running and gunning. There's Buffy the Vampire Slayer in this game now. It's just such an interesting game that I absolutely love. And at 86% off for $1.99, there is no reason you should not pick up Broforce if you are into this style of game. This game is freaking awesome. Then we have Enter and Exit the Gungeon. And this is another fantastic game. Two different games, both roguelike adventures, shoot 'em up style games, coming in at 80% off at $3.44. This is a steal of a deal. I love Enter the Gungeon. That's the one I've played the most of. Exit the Gungeon's also very good, and just a fantastic game to add to your collection if you're into this particular style of game for that price. It's a steal. Moving on, we have a Monster Hunter sale happening right now on the Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo Switch 2. This is ending August 21st, and there are a handful of titles worth picking up. First and foremost, there's the Monster Hunter Stories Collection. They did announce at the recent Nintendo Partner Showcase that Monster Hunter Stories 3 would be coming out. So if you're interested in the series and want to get in and see what the original entries look like, check out the Monster Hunter Stories Collection, where that contains the first and the second game for 50% off at $30. Now, if you just wanted the original game, that game is also on sale. I don't know the exact percentage, but I believe it was around $20 on sale, so definitely worth checking out. Then there's Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. This was a port of the 3DS game over to the Nintendo Switch. One of my favorite Monster Hunter games to date. I absolutely love this game. There is so much freaking content. There is still an active player base on this particular game. You're able to hop in and do lobbies online with people. This game is incredibly solid. Definitely an older Monster Hunter experience, so you kind of got to get used to that if you're only familiar with the newer entries like World, Rise, or Wilds. But a fantastic Monster Hunter game nonetheless, coming in at 75% off for $10. So much content, so many hours of just playtime that you could put into that game for $10. Totally worth it. But then we have Monster Hunter Rise plus Sunbreak. Fantastic Monster Hunter game. I'm still going to go out on a limb, and this may be a hot take for many Monster Hunter fans. This is my favorite Monster Hunter game. I absolutely love the movement and the craziness of this particular game, and the amount of content that is available in it is fantastic. This game coming in at 75% off for $15. Totally worth it if you're into Monster Hunter games, especially if you like the newer games like World and Wilds. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak is fantastic. The final sale we're going to talk about today is a Capcom sale, and if you like collections, this is the sale for you, because there's a lot of collections that are available in this particular sale. This one is ending August 23rd, and one that has a ton of games that I've already played on the Nintendo Switch 2, tested out personally, and are worth checking out. So let's get into it. Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, and Resident Evil 6. All of these games I've tested on the Nintendo Switch 2, and they are running better. 60 frames per second on the Nintendo Switch 2, and all of these games are coming in at 50% off at $10. So if you're a fan of the Resident Evil franchise, definitely worth getting your hands on these games while they're on sale. They are running beautifully on the Nintendo Switch 2. There's also Resident Evil Revelations and Resident Evil Revelations 2. Both of these games are 60% off at $8, and I think I might grab these games because I already have all the other ones on my Nintendo Switch. I think I want to grab these two just to finish it all up. Now, it is worth noting, I didn't include them in this video, but the cloud games, if you are not opposed to cloud games, I'm not particularly interested in them, but if you are not opposed to cloud games, there are a handful of Resident Evil titles that are available as the cloud version, looking at Resident Evil Village, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, all of those particular games, the remakes and the newer updated Resident Evils, those are available as cloud games and are on sale for a really reasonable price. So if you're into the cloud gaming stuff, that is an option, but I didn't include them in this particular list. Next up, we have Devil May Cry 2, and Devil May Cry 3. If you're looking for fantastic hack and slash games, these are right up your alley, and all of them are coming in at 50% off at $10. Now, I talked about collections. If you like collections, I'm getting into a bunch of them. So first and foremost, we have Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. This includes a ton of classic arcade Street Fighter games coming in at 66% off. This is $10. Lots of content there at your disposal for just $10. If you're into the Street Fighter series and you like the classic games, definitely worth checking out. Then we have Marvel vs. Capcom Collection. This is 40% off at $30. And this, again, has tons of games at your disposal here. Tons of stuff that you can sink your teeth into. Lots of classic arcade games. Very, very solid collection of games. Now, Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection is also on sale. Now, I remember playing this as a kid, and I had such a good time playing Ghosts and Goblins. Very difficult game, at least at the time when I played it. I was having such a good time. I remember staying at my buddy's house one night, and we played it like all freaking night. It was such a good time. Very good game. This one's coming in at 66% off at $10. Definitely worth picking up if you're a fan of Ghosts and Goblins. But if you like Mega Man, like every freaking Mega Man game is on sale right now. First and foremost, we have Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection Volumes 1 and 2. Both are coming in at 50% off for $20. Then we move on to the Mega Man X Collection. Both the first and the second collection are on sale for the Mega Man X Legacy games, and both are 60% off at $7.99. Fantastic deal for a bunch of games. Definitely worth checking out. Mega Man Zero ZX Legacy Collection is also on sale, coming in at 66% off for $10. And finally, Mega Man 11 is on sale as well. This is a fantastic game that I actually own on my Nintendo Switch. Have a great time with this game. Very good Mega Man game. 66% off for $10. So if you are a fan of Mega Man, now is the time to get in, because there's so many Mega Man games on sale. If you're missing any, grab these collections because they're all reasonably priced for the amount of content that you're getting. Finally, Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen is the final game on our list, and this game, I never actually played this one. I never played the first game. I played the second game on my PlayStation 5, and I had a great time with it, and I've heard the first one is definitely worth your time as well. This one's coming in at 83% off at $5, so if you're looking for that classic RPG style game with a lot of different classes to dive into, companions to take on your adventures, and taking down giant monsters, this is one that you definitely need to check out. But that is it for my list of all of the sales Nintendo is hosting right now on the eShop and all the games that you should be checking out for your Nintendo Switch or your Nintendo Switch 2. Some are getting boosts on the Nintendo Switch 2, so definitely worth picking up if you have a Nintendo Switch 2. And some are just great games on the Nintendo Switch and definitely worth grabbing there. All of the games here I listed are worth playing, no matter which system you have. If you have the Switch 1 or the Switch 2, again, let me know in the comments below if you have any games that are on sale that I didn't mention that you are excited about. Also, let me know in the comments below what games you plan to pick up from any of these sales. But that is going to be it. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe because that helps me out, helps the video out, and helps the channel out immensely. But until next time, peace.